The purpose of this video is to discuss scatter plots. I will discuss what scatter plots are, why we use them, and other related topics. Scatter plots are graphical representations of the relationship between two quantitative variables. Only quantitative variable can be used for scatter plots, not qualitative variables. They are used to visualize the correlation between quantitative variables and identify patterns or trends in the data. An observation is represented by a data point on the graph with one variable along the x-axis and another variable along the y-axis. The resulting plot reveals the distribution of the data points and the nature of their relationship. Let me show you how to draw a scatter plot. There are two variables here, the x and y variables. Each variable has n observations. Thus, we can describe this as an ordered pair. An ordered pair represents the position of a point on the coordinate plane with respect to the origin. These points can be plotted using the xy coordinate system. We can determine x values on x-axis and the y values on y-axis. This is called a scatter plot. Here is an example that will help you understand. There are 4 points here. It is possible to represent these points using a table such as this as well as ordered pairs of points. Let's place these points in an xy coordinate system. X-axis represents square feet while y-axis represents house price. Here is a scatter plot of this observation. X and y variables may have a linear relationship. Do we have only linear relationship? No. How about like this? This is not a linear relationship. This is called a collinear relationship. There are many types of relationship, but we study only linear relationship. I will discuss with more detail about the linear relationship in a later videos. Now let me explain response variables and explanatory variables. A response variable, also known as dependent variable, measures an outcome of a study. An explanatory variable, also known as independent variable, may explain or influence changes in a response variable. Now, let me explain how to pick the response and explanatory variable using some examples. Number of lectures attended in your statistics course and grade on the final exam for the course. We believe that your exam grades depend on your attendance. Then, what do you think? Which one is the explanatory variable? Explanatory variable is number of lectures. Response variable is grade on the final exam. Next one. Number of hours per week is spent exercising and calories burned per week. We know that the calories burned per week depend on the number of hours we spend exercising. Therefore, explanatory variable is number of hours per week spent exercising. Response variable is calories burned per week. Response variable always depend on the explanatory variable. Always plot the response variable if there is one on the y-axis of a scatter plot and explanatory variable on the x-axis of a scatter plot. If there is no explanatory response distinction, either variable can go on the horizontal axis. Now let me explain the same example we discussed before. Here we have two variables, square feet and house price. we know that the house price depend on the size of the house. That means depend on the number of square feet. Therefore, house price is the dependent variable, that is the y variable, and the square feet is the x variable. So we can draw the scatter plot for this example using this x and y variable. So that this is the scatter plot for this example. Let me go to the another example. This is also very similar to the previous one. There are two variables, house price and square feet. There are 10 observations here. So what is the independent variable? Square feet. Dependent variable, house price. So this is the scatter plot for this example. In my next video, I hope to explain how to interpret scatter plots.